Right. He stands up just as I sit down. I think it's when I've reached across him to press record. He goes, "Oh, what's fucking happening?" But I've remembered my thinkoid. I had to watch the video back, and I was like, that's where it was going to go. And then I went to make the video again, and I was like, hang on, and what was the first bit again? I forgot the fucking first bit. But I was talking about. I probably shouldn't have likened it to the person who does the one-liners on Facebook. I think that's where it all went wrong. That's where it all went wrong. But a lot of the times people are reluctant to engage with people like me. And I did mention suicide, but I think it's a fair assumption that a lot of people would be reluctant to talk to someone who was considering it because they'd be scared of saying the wrong thing. And that would be the assumption. And that's why people would then sort of justify not listening to their friends. It's another one of those sort of accidentally toxic things in society that's come from a place of people trying to be concerned or do it properly, but they end up rejecting somebody. But that's the thing, is they're scared of saying the wrong thing. They don't want to say the wrong thing. And the point was that in the situation I was describing about trying to force someone to send love and forgiveness to someone who has hurt and abused them over a long period of time, or whether, once to an extreme degree, or several times to an extreme degree, or to not an extreme degree, but over many years, or whatever. When there becomes that huge amount of bitterness around the whole experience, you fucking dare force someone to forgive before they're fucking ready to. This one used to come up a lot in the 12 Steps of Alcoholics Anonymous when people were talking about things like rape, sexual abuse, or, physical abuse as a child, all that sort of stuff, starvation, any of that kind of shit. How the fuck am I supposed to forgive them? And that was very often people would say, yeah, when it's at that level, you probably need to work through it with a counsellor. Fucking absolutely. But then for some reason that attitude doesn't seem to have bled into society as much as the whole principle of forgive the other person has. Because it's not the cure, it is a manifestation of the cure. It's when the cure happens you're able to. It doesn't cause the cure. It is caused by the cure. That's where we get it wrong. I fucking promise you. Because it's just more and more bizarre the more I think of it. That someone who has been through loads of pain from bullying and someone who's listening to them immediately their heart starts going out to the person who's done it. And then they start encouraging that person to feel really sorry for them. And then guilt tripping them, saying, well, you should know how it feels. It's like, hang on a minute. Why are you giving sympathy to them? Because they've been bullied. It's terrible. Think what they've been through. Yeah, but I've been through it. That's your responsibility. Okay? I don't get it. But that's basically what you're fucking doing. It's basically what you're fucking doing with how you interpret bullies. And, there is... You're allowed to process this shit. I've said it before. There's about the what is it, the grief cycle, about allowing each stage to take place, and you need to with this shit. You need to with this shit as well, because fundamentally it's like you can do all the forgiveness affirmations and all sorts, incantations and all kinds of different interventions that you want and mean them with every bit of your heart. You think, yeah, but none of this shit's gone away. That's why I make these videos about it, because it just seems to be that there is a very blind belief out there that if there's any case of any kind of victimization or bullying that's gone on and a victim has suffered as a result of that all they need to do is forgive the other person. And I do have experience of forgiving the other person or being more compassionate to the other person, and then finding a lot of my resentments go towards that person. And a couple of them, they were, very high fucking resentment, actually, to one person. Fucking extremely high. But I just worked through it. Time's a great healer. Suddenly decided I didn't give a fuck about it. Just decided I didn't give a fuck. And then I spoke to her again. And I didn't feel like a twat for it or whatever. It was just like, it just didn't care. It's not worth that fucking anguish, mate. And I did a lot of forgiveness to her. I thought, fucking hell, yeah, it was a fucking horrible thing that she pulled, but what makes someone that dark? All that sort of shit. And it did work. It did work. So that's how I know it doesn't always. It's really simple. It just doesn't always work. That's all. It just doesn't always work. But again, I don't know if I don't think that me saying the thing. It was the fact that I just don't know why, but looked up and said, "What if I decided I just didn't give a fuck?" What if I didn't give a fuck about it though? And it worked. Because it showed you the depth of it, showed you the extent of it. It's basically, that's what that's an example of. If it's, it didn't run that deep and hadn't been that deep for that long, and rah, 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 rah. And this, this was a big one. This was an entire recalculation in your mid-40s, early 40s. A sudden and entire fucking recalculation of everything you thought you understood, but you didn't anyway. But never mind that, because now you understand it worse. And none of that was real. So much of that wasn't real. That you thought was real, and now you're having trouble figuring out when things are real. And people get impatient when things aren't real for you. And the people correct you all the time, telling you what's real, and then that unsettles you. And you think this has now really got fuck all to do with what anyone fucking did and whether they meant it or not. That's why it's frustrating to keep coming up against it, because it's, it's always interpreted as blame. It's not blame. Blame doesn't matter anymore, mate. It's not what I'm majoring on here. But if I experience the symptoms that I experience, I am interpreted as holding on to pain and living in the past. Like you lot. Choosing to hold on, not letting go. Whatever fucking interpretation. That's what it's seen as. When the fucking symptoms happen, they're seen as me choosing them. And there's that prescribed medicine. It's like, of forgive the other person. Yay, it worked, honestly. And then, there's story after story after story of success after success after success. And just think, what would make anyone think that I haven't tried the first and most basic thing that everyone knows? That's infuriating too. That's infuriating too. Because it's said so often by people. You think, how do any of you think that none of us know this anymore? You know what I mean? This is fucking... It's as household a response as fucking... I don't know. Say cheese for a photo. It does seem to be. And it just doesn't fucking work. Like I said in a recent video, I was the crying child that just got baffled by the fact that I was told that it was because they were looking up to me and because. And at that time I was thinking, what does it matter? Because why have we suddenly ignored what's happened and started talking about why they did it? That's wrong. That's fucking wrong to do that to a kid. But we all fucking do it to kids. That's what we all say about bullies. It's because they like you. It's because they're jealous, really. It's because they're jealous. Just ignore them. That's always a prescription. What? Let them carry on unchallenged? Let the child keep experiencing it? Because it gets to a point where it's not ignorable. And no, this isn't the bullshit that I'm carrying from school. Yes, it started at school. It's just never fucking stopped, mate. Never fucking stopped. It's always about my exclusion. Adults do it differently, but they still exclude. And they still support each other's right to exclude. And it's still unpleasant to be on the receiving end of. Especially when so much of it is just over fucking misconceptions of me. For fuck's sake. I'm finally accepting a reality that means I can't interpret reality, and then you're interpreting that as a different reality in front of me, and now I'm fucking truly fucked. Now I'm fucking truly fucked. There's a world of getting the wrong end of the stick and correcting each other, and I didn't mean it like that, and you took it as like no one, but fucking no one can take responsibility for anything they do or fucking say. And if someone gets a bit and comments on it, they attack like fuck because no one wants to accept the blame. If they're seen as being the one to blame for something, it's like, why can't you be to blame and just say, I'm sorry? Okay. Like, to blame is not a finality, it's just a thing. But it's, yeah, I don't know, but everyone does really fucking get very stroppily defensive over a lot of this automatical shit. And it's wrong, it's wrong, it's wrong. The way we fucking manage bullying is fucking wrong. It is. The reasons why the bully did it have got fuck all to do with the victim's pain, by and large. Treat the fucking pain first. And if you don't know how to, then don't try. Learn if you want to help. That's basically fucking job one with anyone. All feelings are normal and valid. They happen. They become twirled and swirled and stuck around and can't move inside some people sometimes because they've been screwed and fucked with and bent over backwards and fucked about with their head. And those feelings clang and clatter and jangle. But eventually they might settle down and become unspangled. If they're allowed to just be and be me, their feelings, you see, they just live in me. They're not the all of me. But they need to be and just happen and just happen and just happen. Pain is pain is pain is pain. Comfort the pain. The earlier you do it after someone has been fucking victimised, the better chance they're going to have of dealing with that pain. You need to acknowledge it first. Don't just deny it. It's ridiculous. Don't deny it. Don't tell them not to be hurt by something that has already hurt them. Don't fucking post-eventically inform them of the invalidity of the hurt they did already experience by telling them that it shouldn't really hurt because of the intention of the assailant's fucking purpose. Does a tennis racket hurt when you get twanged on the fucking head with one? Yeah. What if they were just playing a tennis shot though and you walked underneath? No, it still hurts. Yeah, but they didn't mean it. They were playing a tennis shot. They didn't mean it. Yeah, but it fucking hurt. They didn't mean it. I'm not talking about that. I'm trying to talk about the fucking injury. This is the blame thing. This is the blame thing. When I talk about the injury, everyone thinks that that is the blame that I am bestowing upon them. And that is the wrongity. And it's not. We're just talking about different things. Because you're making your fucking societal assumptions. He said this, that means that. I must say this to him. This is basically how it fucking goes. But anyway, thank fuck I got that point back together again. And I might get swiped. I almost got swiped during this. I cuddled his tummy a little bit because he rolled. But then he grabbed at me. We almost had the little hissy swipes, didn't we, Giz? Don't roll over on your fucking back then. If you don't want me to touch you there, you div. Anyway, bye-bye.